This might be the weirdest book recommendations video I've ever done. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brie and this is 4 Paws in a Book. Today I am going to be giving you book recommendations based on the Swig drinks in The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. If you have somehow been under a rock for the past couple of weeks or months, you may not know about The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the show on Hulu that everyone is talking about. These girls from Utah that have started Mom Talk, and they're basically Mormon swingers. That's the gist of the show. Anyways, they go to Swig a lot. Swig is a soda company that is based out of Utah, and they created the dirty soda, which is basically just flavoring your sodas. And they started in St. George and kind of moved their way up to the Salt Lake Valley, and now they are all across the nation. I've actually had the pleasure of working with Swig for about 4 years now, and they're a wonderful company. And you know, I thought of this really weird meta concept of book talk meets mom talk and Swig talk. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm going to be taking the drink orders that were ordered by some of the girls on the show, and I'm gonna be giving you a book recommendation for them. Does that sound really weird? Yes, but that's okay. Because only 3 of the girls have Swig orders on the show, I'm also going to be adding a couple of other people to this. The official Swig TikTok did a series where they said if so-and-so came into the store, what would you give them? And so I'm going to be giving book recommendations based on those as well. We're going to be starting off with Jesse's Drink, which is the Texas Tab. Now the Texas Tab is one of the classics, the OGs on the menu. Fun fact, it was actually on the original Swig menu, which looks very different than it does today. They've definitely had a glow up in the last couple of years. The Texas Tab is a Dr. Pepper with vanilla syrup and coconut cream. It's not very crazy, it's not very wild, but it's definitely an introduction to the dirty soda if you are nervous about putting something in your soda that's already really sweet. Trust me, it tastes good. A lot of times if you don't know what you want at Swig and you walk up and the menu seems a little bit overwhelming, they will automatically recommend you the Texas Tab. It is the gateway to Swig. So for this book, I want to give you an introductory to romantasy. Romantasy is the hot new genre, the new kid on the block, if you will. And there are some people that are a little terrified of it, a little nervous. I want to give you a little bridge, a little introduction to romantasy, and that is going to be Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is actually a book that was just picked up traditionally. This is the indie published book, and it will be a quartet. And the reason I call it an introductory is because the first book does not have a really strong romantasy plot to it. It has more of a fantasy plot. It's very politically motivated. There's courtroom politics and drama. There are gods and humans, and there is a revolution that happens at the end of this book, and we're leading up to the epic conclusion. Obviously this series does continue on and does get more into the romantasy, but I think this is a really good place to start if you are interested in the genre, but you are typically a fantasy reader and you're just a little bit nervous stepping into some of these book talk favorites. Next up we have Leilas Drink, and that is the Bloody Wild, but she adds coconut cream to it, which honestly sounds really good. I haven't actually tried it with coconut cream. It sounds good. This is a Mountain Dew based drink. It has a mango puree, strawberry puree, and then like I said, she adds in that coconut cream. For this recommendation, I had to go with a vampire book. Bloody Wild, listen, this is a perfect recommendation if you think about it. So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This book is about a woman who is reaching middle age. She is kind of having a midlife crisis, and her husband tells her to go on this girls trip to New York for her birthday to kind of let loose. So she goes off with her best friend from high school, and they are set to have a grand time in the big city, much like the girls do in Las Vegas in the show. Unlike the show though, this gets a whole different kind of crazy. They decide to go to this exclusive party, and the people there are just a little bit off, a little bit strange, and that's because they're vampires. This becomes a real fever dream of a book. I don't want to give away too many details because it's a very short book. I loved the vampires, and it's a very different way to look at vampires. However, there is a little bit of a vampire romance in this as well. It also really dives into friendships and what that looks like, what a good or toxic friendship looks like, as well as our main character really coming to grips with the way that her life is changing now that she is in this time of her life. Next up, we have Demi's Drink, and it is called the Fighter. It's one of the refresher drinks that is water-based, and this drink actually has a really special meaning to it, and it's really important right now. If you don't know anything about the history of Swig, Nicole Tanner is one of the founders, and she is a breast cancer survivor. Over the years, she has been able to use Swig to empower women and help them along their breast cancer journeys as well. Every October, Swigs across the country will be participating in Save the Cups, which is a campaign that was started by Nicole to raise money for women's medical bills. She is able to put a dent in women's medical bills, their chemotherapy expenses, anything like that, and it's such a powerful experience to be a part of. In 2023, Swig raised over $300,000 in the month of October for this foundation. So if you are near a Swig, then go and support Save the Cups. The Fighter is one of the drinks that is sponsored and promoted during this time, and part of the sale of every order during the month of October with that drink on it goes into the Save the Cups campaign. That has nothing to do with the book recommendation. It's just a really cool thing and I wanted to highlight it. Let's talk about what the Fighter actually has in it. Like I said, it's a refresher, so a water-based drink. Demi gets it with sparkling water, and it has sugar-free coconut, sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free raspberry, sugar-free pineapple, and then it's topped off with coconut cream. It is absolutely a delicious drink. While we are definitely past the summer months here in Utah, this drink screams summer to me. I don't love drinking soda in the summer, so I generally try to get some of the refresher drinks because this drink is something that I want to take to the pool. It's beachy, it's summery, and those fruity flavors definitely scream summer to me, so that's the recommendation we're going with. For this drink, I am going to be recommending The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This is their newest adult romance, and this is a second chance romance at its surface, but really it's more like fake dating. So our main characters got married when they were in college, but they didn't actually have a romance. They simply got married to enjoy the special deals on married housing in university. They moved on with their lives after college, but they forgot one very important thing, and that is to sign the divorce papers. 5 years later, they get back in contact, and that's because our male main character is the heir to a large grocery store empire. And in order to get his inheritance, he has to prove that he's been married. And how does he do that? He brings along his wife, his bride, to a private beach island for a sibling's wedding, and they have to pretend like they are a happily married couple, even though they really haven't seen each other in 5 years. It's definitely on the rom-com side of things. It's funny, it's quippy, it is very sexy without having like a lot of sex scenes in it. There's just a lot of angst, a lot of tension, and it was a really, really good time. I was very pleasantly surprised. These are fun. Let's do a couple more. Swig employees were asked if Sabrina Carpenter walked into a Swig, what would you make for her? And an employee's answer was the Naughty and Nice. This is actually one of my favorite go-to drinks. It's a Dr. Pepper based drink, and it has English toffee and half and half. It kind of screams Christmas holiday to me. Also, like, you put some spiced rum in this and it's delicious. So of course I had to go find a Christmas romance. For this recommendation, I'm going to be going with Meet Me in Los Feliz by Kelly Reynolds. This is a little cute holiday novella, and it's about Nora, who just wants a Christmas fling. She wants to bring a date home for Christmas, but she doesn't want all the strings attached to it. And then we have Bowie, who has a habit of falling too hard, too fast. He is just a sweet cinnamon roll of a guy. But he decides to take his friend's recommendation and have a Christmas fling. And who better than the hypnotic, purple-haired Nora, who happens to be his ex's sister's roommate. Yeah, nothing could go wrong there. She wants something casual. He's not sure he can let her go. And the reason I have to put this as my recommendation for the Naughty and Nice drink is the tagline is, can they turn their naughty month together into something nice forever? Another Swig employee was asked if Harry Styles walked into a Swig, what drink would you give him? And of course, there's only one correct answer here, and that is the watermelon sugar. Obviously. This is a Mountain Dew based drink. It has a watermelon and mango in it. It has coconut cream, and then there are passion fruit popping pearls in it. It is another summer delicious drink. So I've decided I'm going to be doing a little spicy romance novella for this one as well. That's going to be Silver Foxed by Kayla Grossi, and this is an age gap novella. There is a much older man, younger woman. They both end up at a cabin for the weekend because they both think that it was going to be empty. She was told by her mom that nobody would be at the house and that she could have it for the weekend to relax and unwind, and he was told by her dad, who is his boss, that he could have the house for the weekend to unwind and relax. He is a perfect gentleman about it. He's like, no, you stay, I'll go. And she's like, no, let's have a fun weekend together, okay? We don't have to tell anybody about this. We don't have to do anything about it when we get home. It's just gonna be a fun weekend. And let me tell you, the hot tub scene in this book is the most vanilla scene there is. This is a spicy good time, and I read this in one night on my Kindle. I was just laying on the couch, and it was 3 hours later, and I was done. So that's what happened here. Kayla writes beautiful, empowering plus-size romances where the woman is a goddess, and it's empowering to read as a plus-size woman, and it's just a really, really fun time too. A Swig employee was asked if Chapel Roan walked into a Swig, what would you make her? And the answer was pretty in pink. This is another one of the refresher sparkling water-based drinks. It has grapefruit, guava, and a fresh slice of orange. This drink is so refreshing on a hot summer day. And I know I've had a lot of romance books in this recommendations video, but I can't not do a romance for Pretty in Pink. I'm gonna be doing The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. It's very pretty in pink, just at surface, but also our main character is Brazilian, so I feel like those tropical flavors really embody the Brazilian food that is discussed in this book, and this was one of my favorite romances the year that I read it. It's funny, it's sexy, they accidentally end up at a sex club. It's a really, really good time. This is about our main character who accidentally breaks up a wedding because she overheard the bride saying she didn't actually love the groom, and so when the pastor said, anyone object, she said, I do. So she ends up putting the groom in a bit of a predicament because it was actually an arranged marriage, and they were just doing it to further their careers, to have a little bit more of a stable life. And he's like, well, I have to get married because I want to make partner at my law firm, and my boss is not taking me seriously as a bachelor. So she is fake engaged to our groom. And then fake engagement turns into real feelings, and it's a really, really good time. All right, my camera died. I had to come back. So sorry. We have one more recommendation, and that is, what am I drinking? This is the Dror Spice. It is a Dr. Pepper based drink. It has a fresh cinnamon stick in it, as well as cinnamon syrup and coconut cream. It's delicious. It's fall in a cup, and it may have restarted my soda obsession that I was doing so well at. For this recommendation, I am going to be going with a romantasy series. I've only read the first one, but everyone is talking about these books again, and it made me want to restart the series. So I'm currently rereading the first book, and I will be continuing on with the second book because it screams fall to me, and that is the Beast of the Briar series. So the first one is Bonded by Thorns, sorry, it has a really bad glare, and the second one is Woven by Gold, and this is a fae romantasy where it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but the Beast is actually 4 fae princes, and each one rules a kingdom that is a season. The first one has a pretty direct retelling to Beauty and the Beast. You can really feel the beats of the, not original story, but the Disney story specifically, but the ending of the book is very different, and so I know that the series is going to continue and be its own thing. Very excited, plus like this book, it just screams fall. So those are my recommendations based on Swig drinks. I don't know, this sounded like a fun idea. Let me know if you've ever tried a Swig or a dirty soda in general. You can make these at home using syrups that you get from your grocery store or Costco and a little bit of coffee creamer. That's all it is. If you're not feeling chatty, of course you have to do the soda emoji. If you want to see another recommendations video, I have one right here that is some not so scary books, just to get you in the mood for spooky season, regardless of your level of horror expertise. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!